So I'm here to remind and elevate you. I'm here to give you all the positive knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for you to grow in a spiritual path. If you really love your spiritual path and you've come a long way and you really want to enter higher dimension, this is the right platform and it is the right way for you to grow yourself into this dimension and enter higher dimensions. And remember, guys, that we have entered the fifth dimension and right now, we are still in the fifth dimension mentally. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that we are in the fifth dimension mentally. We have shifted and moved from the third dimension as we were in the fourth dimension not so long ago. And now we've just entered the fifth dimension mentally. The fifth dimension mentally. Now you have to prepare yourself to enter and shift into the fifth dimension physically. And that's where now everything will make sense and people will be able to see through who's on the third dimension, who's on the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is the haven people have been waiting for. As the Son of God that I'm here, the sun is shining upon everyone every day in a different high light and brilliance of the heat capacity to increase everyone's vibration, but not just everyone. If you are chosen to wake up, to be extremely woke to the point that you know what is happening in this world and how you should prepare yourself in a spiritual way to grow and enter higher realms and dimensions. And I just want to say this again, forget about the people who don't really understand. For those who are still in the third dimension, they are meant to stay there. Unfortunately, they are meant to stay there, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it because at some point, the matrix, the way it is right now, it has come to the point that even the supremacists that control this planet, they know that whatever you say to people, they don't even care because they know it doesn't matter anymore. No one will care because everybody is just programmed. We are a few, but yet again a lot. However, when the time comes, it will be so late for so many people in this planet and they won't know what hit them. They'll they will start to remember all those messages they kept on not abiding to, as all the spiritual masters, the ascended masters like us, we've been trying to liberate and enlighten them by nothing only but the truth that can set everyone's free with the mental capacity of increasing your vibration and mastering your brain. And I always say this, that you should master your brain or the system will master it for you and it will lower your vibration to the point that you won't even see what is really happening, what is going on, what you should actually follow and what you shouldn't follow. Because when it hits you, it hits so hard to the point that you will try by all means necessary to protect and defend the system, even though someone is trying to make you see what you've been missing, to try to make you remember that you are a spiritual being. The body that you're inside is a vessel and is trapping you, but you can be able to mingle with it to the point that you realize yourself and grow your spirituality while you can. Because if people don't go through that and be enlightened, awoken, and be aligned with their energies and their chakras, then when they die, they're gonna come back again in this planet on the third dimension, the lowest of them all vibration. And you will never again remember where you were actually progressing in your life when it comes to spirituality. You'll have to start all over again, over and over and over and again. You won't increase. You won't enter higher dimensions and higher realms. You will always be on the third lowest vibration. And the whole point of all humanity coming into this place, living a human experience, is to use the vessel of your body, because with the soul inside, it can only be able to increase its vibration with this body. Without it, it cannot. And for the great purpose, you have to understand that in order for your soul to increase and enter higher dimensions in different planets, it must train its power and capacity to grow through a human experience. A low vibration with it inside mentally with your soul can increase into higher vibration. It's like a yin yang. a positive and a negative, all together mixed, working together side by side to perform the greatest increasement of a vibration. It is very necessary. And it brings me to my point. What I wanted to say, I wanted to keep this video short. I know I always say that I want to keep this video short, but then at the end of the day, it doesn't happen that way. However, I was just in a meditation, and it was a great experience. I just want to remind people that remember when you weren't born before. The first thing that should come in your mind, that when you try to remember, the only thing that you see is nothing, right? The only thing that you see is the darkness. And I want to try to make people to realize that you have been coming in this planet for so many times. For the mere fact that you keep on doing the very same mistake. That mistake is when you don't want to wake up and start to work with your energies, cleanse yourself and align your chakras and be woke and increase your vibration. That is the experience that will keep on happening. Now, remember when you were born, this thing is a three-way process. When you remember the darkness, it reminds you that you weren't here around. You were in the darkness. It's the same thing as when you're in the matrix. You have to get out of the matrix, and with the expense of increasing your vibration. Same thing applies. When you were born, you had to come out of the darkness, the pure darkness, that out of it you were able to see light. Now that is the first outcome of you realizing yourself. It is the same thing on how the universe created itself as a melanin power. It had to self-realize itself that it had the light and a colorful brilliance that increase the soul into different vibrations. And that's what happened, and everything became to existence, it became to be. It's the same thing that applies to you, for you to be able to get out of that darkness. And when I say that get out of that darkness, it's not something bad. No, it's not. It's something that is pure, that needs you to be out of it to experience the more greater things that comes from the darkness. But you cannot see while you're still in the darkness, but you can only explore when you take the glimpse to see how your soul can increase into higher vibrations through outside of the darkness and inside the experience of the darkness. And that's the whole thing, what it all means, the black hole, the dark matter, as the whole soul purpose in creation, for you to be exposed into the colorful world that has different energies, different planets, different dimensions for you to enter in a higher capacity, whilst you are backed with by what the energy that is dark, that is powerful, because without it nothing can exist. It reminds you where you're coming from, and when you go inside of it, you come out of it with something even much greater than you ever expected. And that is a whole soul creation of how the universe began, and how you as the universe, listen to me, as the universe, your crown is the universe, you can be and create yourself out of that experience to grow spiritually. And I wanted to remind people that it is a process for you to be enlightened. It is a great journey, actually. I always tell people that never take your life in a serious way, because we are just living a human experience. Even though there's some people who won't be able to enter this realm, their time will come. It's only for the few that are chosen for that time. It always happens over and over and again. However, I want to remind you that if this time you always come across information like this and it seeks for your attention, you should take it into consideration that you are here for a reason. So many people didn't get the chance to be able to elevate themselves. And so many people who have died have come back into this life and they don't know what is happening. And a lot of them, when they died unconscious, when they died unconscious, they will come back again in this low vibration. But if you die conscious, knowing yourself who you are and that you're a spiritual being, no belief can hold you back. Because I'm telling you guys, if you're still gonna live in this world to think that there's a God that's going to come out of the clouds, or Jesus Christ, or whosoever, to save you, then you are lying to yourself. You are killing yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because by the time it hits, you realize that you can only save yourself and nobody else can do it for you but yourself. So take this opportunity and make use of it. Do your meditations, do your sun gazing. Remember that only the melanin people that dwell in symbols and signs, let them remind you every time you look into the sky at night, stargazing, the messages that are there, the numbers that repeat itself in your digital clock, they are communicating with you. And that is the way to see that you're on a right path. Unless if that doesn't happen, then there's something wrong. The path that you're following is not the right path. And it will be up to you whether you want to do that path right now or never. However, if you die unconscious, you will come back again in this planet. You will come again and be in this planet, and you will be a slave. Remember that the third dimension, all the dimensions are going to exist forever. Nothing will change those dimensions. They will always be there for people who are slow in waking up to their fullest potential and realize that they are spiritual beings. This is a vessel, and I hope you realize that. Grow your spirituality. Make sure that you're on the right path. Everything will be well. There's a sun god that's here. The solar flare is here. I'm in charge and in controlling the sun. There are so many suns. It is just not. It's not only one sun. There's so many suns that are out there, working all together with me. Behind, backed by the planet Nibiru. The solar flare is here. Are you ready? Because if you're not, the sun will cook you up. It will never activate your DNA, and you will stay behind. Be sure you take your spirituality serious. The way you eat, the thoughts that you think of every day, how you become yourself, and remember that you are the greatest thing ever in this world. As a collective conscious, if everyone thinks that way, this planet raises its vibration in the highest capacity that it even goes into two and separates and leaves behind the third dimension. We are heading there now to the fifth dimension. After that, it's higher, more greater dimensions to come. Stay tuned. Always never miss out all my videos. I'm here for you to help you out. I love you all. Peace.